I am pleased to present the new HOV bike.
Hey y'all, my elbow. Take a look at this incredible video. This unidentified person is walking down the road and is struck by lightning not once, but twice.
Can you imagine seeing this? Like, you being the spectators of what's going on right in front of you?
2nd, 2025, Europe's largest and most active volcano, Mount Etna, suddenly erupts on the east coast of Sicily. Towering ash clouds fill the sky as panicked tourists scramble for safety, as the powerful river devours massive chunks of land in seconds.
Yellowstone National Park witnessed a huge hypothermal explosion.
Run, 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 run!
Man, what's good with the collective? Y'all know we back with another banger, another reaction. I appreciate everybody who been tapping in, running up, and subbing up. If you new to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell so you always notified whenever we drop them uploads. Y'all know we coming with about 4 videos every smooth 7. And this is for entertainment purposes as well. And when you like and comment and subscribe to the channel, helps Collective grow, helps Collective get bigger, helps more people who like this type of content tap in with this content. But I appreciate you if you're watching TV, whatever the case is. I wish it was smooth 7. Might be a trigger warning or 2. I hope not. But make sure your post notifications are on, man. Seen some of y'all saying y'all missed some of the uploads. Y'all know we coming with 4. Most of the time more than that, but 4 for sure. But I also want to go ahead and say, make sure you're hyping up the video. I'll be forgetting to let y'all know that. On top of that, let me know what y'all want to see more of. Y'all know we coming up on that 3-year mark. We done damn near had the channel almost 3 years now. So let me know what y'all want to see more of. I want to go ahead and add more of that. But I ain't going to hold you. Y'all know what it is, man. Let's get straight to the video, man. Let's go.
Can you imagine seeing this? Like, you being the spectators of what's going on right in front of you? That these things really did walk the earth for thousands of years even? Yeah, it's AI, but what I'm about to show you isn't AI. It's kind of humorous they still try to tell us this is how the pyramids were built, right? Moving these giant blocks. You can't tell me that these right here are not petrified giants. Genesis 6 said there were giants in the earth in those days, and after that. I don't want to take up too much of the screen, but I mean, it's quite clear what all this stuff actually was. The pyramids being a great indicator of that, because obviously there had to have been something like this to even build the pyramids in the first place. The only discrepancy would be that the Bible says that they're between 30 to 80 foot, like the size of a cedar tree, where Enoch says they can be hundreds of feet. And it wasn't just giants that were big, it was everything, snakes, reptiles, etc. One thing we do know is that they were not the size of continents like I see people saying. If that were true, it'd be impossible for them to continue living with food. So yeah, it's much more probable that that's the way the pyramids are built. Speaking of the pyramids, it's crazy because what kind of offerings and rituals were done on these pyramids, right? And we know from ancient texts, and also, you know, depictions like Saturn eating, what is that? Yeah, these things were certainly around, and maybe they still are.
I am pleased to present the new HOV bike.
Got 1,000 miles an hour up there receiving their awards, and I was like, I'm dead. And I made mistakes, and I was like a novice, but I felt a lot of love, and I felt a lot of
And this is very weird. He talked about in the video how he is dead. That is a very strange keyword to use in this interview.
favorite funny face is the one I'm wearing right now.
And then he talked about his favorite funny face being the one that he has on right now. I wonder what he meant by that. Again, I don't know what is going on. Again, this video is for entertainment purposes only. I'm sure that it's nothing. I'm sure that it's just age. You know, that's all that it probably is. And he's okay. He's okay. He is A-okay. Right. But what if there is something more going on? I really don't know what is going on anymore. Again, he's probably just joking. He probably is just joking. But this is the Jim Carrey I remember right here. This is the Jim Carrey I remember. So who is this? What is really going on anymore? What do you think?
Didn't he say he wasn't a real person, a real character or something?
Put another one of your wife inside of her body. And they're walking around and you think that's your wife and it's not your wife. This is what's going on. It's no longer, like I said, it's no longer spiritual. We figured out how to, turn into spirit and exchange the soul in order to control the vessel. So if I have the vessel and I'm just nothing but spirit, I can ruin your life. That's what everybody has been going through. So they can't recognize it unless you say things like the switch. So when they watch that and they see that there's other people that can identify other than me, it's not just me playing games. It's the truth.
Who agrees with this and who disagrees and why?
The elites have seen the future and they didn't like what they saw, which is why they're trying to change the future. This is called Project Looking Glass. So the government created a device that was reverse engineered from alien technology, allegedly from the Roswell crash thing. And they created a device that could see into the future and they could see different timelines and different future possibilities. And they didn't like what they saw because the timelines got fixed and they couldn't see any other variations. And they only saw one variation. Back in 2012 is when things stopped working. In the Infinity War movie, Doctor Strange looks at all the future outcomes and they only find one where they could win. And that's essentially what Project Looking Glass is. But the government didn't see what they wanted to see, which is why they're releasing the files right now to speed things up, to get people all riled up, to create this unrest and revolution. Because when revolution happens, in which it should, because obviously torturing kids and stuff is unacceptable. We must stop that. But they're doing that because they want to destabilize the world. There are nations overthrowing their leadership, and they want us to revolt and do the Rebel Alliance and Star Wars so that they can come in and fill in the power vacuum. Because they want everyone on one team. And the United States is everyone on one team in order to prepare to fight the next threat. I believe that Christ already returned in the first century, and we're living in Satan's little season right now. I've already done videos on this, my Millennial Kingdom playlist on my page. Watch those videos, okay? I break it down as best I can. One day, Christ will appear in the sky with the Emerald City, the Crystal City. And in order to get all the humans to fight against Christ the Redeemer, against God, they have to get the New World Order set up first. That's why they release the files, get you all riled up to destabilize the world and then come in and fix everything. And then there's all peace and prosperity. Aliens are going to show up and they're going to say that Christ is aliens and they're going to get all of us to act like this and fight against the aliens, who is going to be Christ in the air. Everything is about Jesus, man. These people doing stuff in the files, they're not just depraved people. They're literally sacrificing to little g false gods, dark entities, Moloch. And you still think that this Jesus and God is not real? It's going to be just like this probably, or similar. Some crazy stuff is going to be in the sky. I think it'll be like, oh, aliens. No, it's God. If you take part in the revolution, just know after the revolution will be the New World Order. Prepare yourself for that.
That is going to ruffle some feathers. I see it coming now.
Okay, so do you guys remember the Miami Mall incident when the official story is that a bunch of kids were running around causing mayhem? but then 100 cop cars show up. Like, the story wasn't adding up. And then other reports came out of tall, shadowy figures. Like, it was a big situation. Well, I find it interesting that, did you know the coordinates that take you to the Miami Mall, if you swap them, so you reverse hemispheres, the coordinates of 80.18 degrees south to 25 degrees 77 east takes you to Belgrano 2 base in Antarctica. So the Miami Mall, 2577 north, 80.18 west, swap it, not just its numbers, but the hemispheres, it takes you to Antarctica. So did those creatures spawn in the wrong coordinate zone? I should mention, by the way, space, I'm not so sure about it. Aliens, are they demons? And just be vigilant for what's coming around the corner here. There could be some deception.
Subway's bread contained azotocarbonamide. Never heard of it? You've definitely stepped on it. That's the same chemical used to make yoga mats and shoe soles nice and foamy. Appetizing, right? Now here's what really gets me. This stuff is completely banned in food across Europe and Australia. They looked at it and said absolutely not. But the FDA? They allow up to 45 parts per million in American bread. Land of the free, home of the yoga mat sandwich. Subway's initial response was basically a corporate shrug. They defended using it. But when thousands of customers started freaking out, suddenly they could remove it. Within months, it was gone from their recipe. Which raises an obvious question. If they could switch to a safer alternative that quickly, why weren't they using it all along? Money. That's why. But wait, it gets worse. When azotocarbonamide breaks down during baking, it can form something called urethane. The EPA lists that as a probable human carcinogen. So for over a decade, Subway customers were unknowingly eating bread with potential causing breakdown products. 10 years. That's how long this went on before a blogger caught them. And if they were hiding yoga mat chemicals in plain sight, you have to wonder what else is lurking in their ingredients. Turns out, their chicken might be the biggest scandal of all. So here's where things get really messy. In 2017, CBC Marketplace decided to test fast food chicken. They sent samples from multiple chains to a lab for DNA analysis. Most came back around 90 to 95% chicken. Solid numbers. Expected results. Then Subway's results arrived. Their oven-roasted chicken? Only 53.6% actual chicken DNA. The strips? Even worse. 42.8%. Let that sink in. You're ordering chicken, but nearly half of what you're eating is soy filler. Now Subway didn't just get upset. They got lawsuit upset. $210 million worth of upset. They sued CBC for defamation, claiming the testing was flawed and their reputation was damaged. But here's the kicker. They dropped the lawsuit. Never went to trial. Never disproved those findings in court. Just quietly walked away. For comparison, real chicken breast from your grocery store tests at 100% chicken DNA, because that's what chicken is supposed to be. Chicken. The soy protein mixed into Subway's version serves a sneaky purpose, too. It absorbs water during cooking, which artificially pumps up the weight. You're paying chicken prices for waterlogged soy. When confronted, Subway claimed their own internal tests showed 100% chicken content. Totally legit chicken, they promised. But when asked to share their testing methods, crickets. When asked to allow independent verification, more crickets. And the sodium hiding in these meat products? That's a whole different health nightmare waiting ahead. Here's where things get genuinely dangerous. Every food safety expert will tell you the same thing. Keep cold food below 40 degrees. Keep hot food above 140. Anything between those temperatures? That's the danger zone. Bacteria doubles every 20 minutes in that range. And Subway's setup practically invites temperature problems. Those open-top meat containers behind the counter? Every single time an employee reaches in, cold air escapes. Multiply that by hundreds of customers per day, and you've got meat that's constantly fluctuating in temperature. A 2019 health inspection sweep across major cities found 34% of Subway locations had at least one critical temperature violation. That's more than 1 in 3 stores failing on the most basic food safety measure. Now, employees are supposed to check meat temperatures every 4 hours with thermometers. Supposed to, but undercover investigations revealed many skip this step entirely during busy periods. Makes sense when you think about it. You've got a line out the door, someone's demanding extra mayo, and suddenly checking the turkey temperature falls off the priority list. Then there's the sneeze guard situation. It only blocks from one direction. Meanwhile, employees who just handled cash are reaching directly over your meat, over and over again. But here's what really bothered me. Leftover meat from the display case gets refrigerated overnight and served the next day. Then exposed again. Then refrigerated again. Multiple temperature abuse cycles before it ever hits your sandwich. And we haven't even talked about what's hiding in all that salt yet. Let's talk about the silent killer hiding in every Subway sandwich. Salt. A single 6-inch cold-cut combo packs 1,290 milligrams of sodium. That's more than half your entire daily limit. And you haven't even added cheese yet. But here's where it gets ridiculous. Order a foot-long spicy Italian, and the meat alone hits 2,480 milligrams, your whole day's worth of sodium, in one sandwich, before lunch. Why so much salt? Because Subway literally injects their turkey with salt solutions. It's not for flavor, it's for weight. More water retention means heavier meat. Heavier meat means you're paying turkey prices for salt water. Genius for them. Not so great for your blood pressure. And the health consequences aren't some distant maybe. High sodium in processed meats directly increases your risk of heart disease, stroke, and hypertension, especially if you're over 50. Now you might think, I'll just order the veggie delete. Problem solved. Not quite. The bread alone contains 310 milligrams of sodium. The vegetables sitting on top.
That was a long clip. We had to cut it short. Y'all see the name. Go check it out.
I will never eat anything out of a drive-thru again, and I'm not going to eat any meat that doesn't have a bone in it ever again. I'm not going to buy a little boneless, skinless chicken. I'm not going to do that. Look, I've been a chef for over 20 years. When you fry chicken, blood comes out. That's not happening right now. Something is wrong with our food supply. I can make 1,000 hypotheses, but it doesn't matter. Don't buy it. Don't eat it. Buy whole chickens, break it down, debone it, deskin it, whatever. Look, folks, if you are wondering, hey, am I far enough into my spiritual awakening? Think about this. There are people lined up out to the street in Starbucks. Everything that they serve on that menu has 20 frickin' ingredients. No. There are people right now in the McDonald's drive-thru ordering an Egg McMuffin. No. I'm going to tell you this. Don't eat ground meat. When my neighbor's dog wouldn't eat ground beef because I walked in, the smell of the ground beef cooking in my house made me nauseous. I took it outside. My neighbor's dog wouldn't eat it. That should tell you something, folks.
Shit, we done seen that a couple times.
Okay, think about this. So for you to be able to see the sun and the moon at the same time, and for you to be able to see a halo either around the sun or around the moon at night, and for you to be able to see a rainbow, a full circle rainbow, if you're up in a helicopter looking down, or if you're looking up, you can see a circle rainbow. All of this is happening because the light is being refracted off of something. off of something circular, spherical. So it's not like we live on a sphere, we live in a sphere. And they've essentially inverted our reality and taught us the exact opposite, so that we externalize all of our power onto the state and onto the church and the politicians and the businesses, instead of looking within and maintaining our power and understanding that we are all in God's perfect creation. Anyways, that was my thank you.
There's information in the files that they have technology that can take the soul from one person and put it inside another person. Well, that's kind of accurate and it's kind of not accurate. What they do is they force the current soul out of the body in one way or another. And then based on the DNA and based on the blood, the soul will form again. And for the soul to fully transfer from one body to the next, the first body has to be disposed of entirely.
How is it that your daughter went missing a month ago and you just not reporting it? Something ain't adding up, y'all. It's really, really fishy. It's really giving Casey Anthony. That's what it's giving. Y'all, you mean to tell me that this 2-year-old toddler, Genesis Reed, reached for the door, opened the door, and went out at 3 o'clock in the morning, wandering the complex, wandering the streets, and she went missing? But yet, they found her mattress, a dirty, blooded mattress, in the woods. They found her car seat in the woods. What's really going on? And allegedly, they got the mama down there for questioning, and she don't want to talk. You mean to tell me that you knew your baby was missing, and you just not reported it? You act like you didn't really know, but don't you wake up every day to take care of your kid? You take her to school, you wash her, you feed her, you bathe her, she tap you. Don't you realize that? And you mean to tell me you didn't realize that for a month, that your daughter was not in your presence? And right now you just want to report it? It's not adding up. Y'all, it's not adding up, but y'all stay tuned because this story is about to get deep. It's really giving Casey Anthony.
Some people don't deserve kids. And I mean that. Some people don't. Some people definitely deserve them. Some people definitely don't deserve them.
Hey, you in there? I need you niggas to wake the fuck up. Because look what our government is admitting to. Advanced weapon. Contractors develop a bulletproof skin spray that hardens upon kinetic impact. Now, for all my Call of Duty fans, we already know about the kinetic suits, the exoskeleton shit. They gave us abilities. Remember, they said that the super soldier and all of that shit is conspiracy. But now they coming out telling us that we can spray some shit on our arms and be like Luke Cage around this bitch. Y'all don't find this suspicious? What's really going on? What they preparing for? Y'all let me know how y'all feel in the comments about this. But I have to bring this to y'all attention. Put y'all thinking caps on full grade. Shit is crazy out here.
Just imagine if they created one, they got about 1 million of them things.
Okay, so they have now supposedly released the first picture of Earth for 2026, and it is going viral, and for all the wrong reasons, because people are looking at this and they're like, so all of a sudden y'all want to add stars. Because for ages, okay, they have been posting these pictures and there have never been a single star. And now they're posting this and they're like, oh no, it's not AI, but yeah, maybe it's CGI, because all of a sudden y'all just added all of these stars, all of these different, graphics. And on top of that, think about all of the space stations that we've seen, all of the satellites. We never see any space debris. You see these people outside of these stations just fixing things, but you never see any space debris. How is that possible when they say that the entire atmosphere is polluted, unless we're not really going as far up as they say we are? And it is actually intriguing to see how people went from believing that we were taking phone calls from the moon in the 60s to now not even believing the pictures that they show us. And it's definitely giving revelations, because left and right things are being revealed to us. It's giving age of disclosure, and we're starting to realize that the truth that we've been taught in school does not mirror the world that we're actually living in. Like, have y'all seen the woman who was in the Vatican Museum and she was taking the up-close pictures of the world globes from back in the day and how all of them had Tartaria on them, and they're secured and locked away, but all of them acknowledge Tartaria. And it would make so much more sense if they acknowledged that Tartaria actually existed, that they were somehow defeated after a war, so that's why they changed ownership and they changed the name of the land. But to act like it was never even there, because think about it like this, the Great Wall of China, when you look at the architecture, the actual defense side should be stopping things from getting into China, but it's actually set up in reverse. Why is that? And why is that strategically placed where Tartaria would have been? And then when you think about Tartaria and the civilization that people love to ignore or act like never existed, think about the world fairs. Why is it that in the States there were actual areas that look like Rome, that look like Greece, that they say that they debuted just for show, like they were made out of paper mache, and then they just completely tore them down? And it's ironic because we also had all of these massive fires all throughout the States to remove the rest of that history. And if we take it back even further to the maps, think about the fact that the maps from the 1500s showed different lands. It showed Antarctica blossoming, blooming with greenery, but now not only is it just all ice, it is completely restricted. There were all of these different animals on these maps. There was Rupert Niger. Now they say that none of that ever even existed. And think about all of the changes that are currently happening in our society, in our world right now, and how they're completely rebuilding lands that have been taken, right? Who's to say that in 100 years, they'll say that Gaza never even existed? Yeah, it definitely gives you something to think about. All I know is we're consistently told half truths, and it's never for our benefit because it's all about money, power, and greed. But that's just my personal opinion. Per usual, this is all alleged. I can't confirm or deny any information, but let me know what you think about this. And if you've never heard about any of it, save this video, go look into it, come back, share your thoughts. Whatever else I find out, I'll be back. Like, follow, stay for some more tea. And if you like topics like this, go ahead and grab your copy of 50 Forbidden Mysteries. Link is in the bio, and join the private group chat.
Y'all know how we see maps, right? Y'all know how Alaska and Russia is not too far. Literally not too far. Y'all remember how the Bering Strait used to be right there, right? We got the world fairs as if things from Tartaria were also here in the States. Still to this day. It would make a hell of a lot of sense on why they're erasing Tartaria from the history books, as they erase certain other things out of other people's history books as well. And then it makes a lot of sense if the Bering Strait was right there, Alaska and Russia is not too far from each other. Tartaria was all over there. Why wouldn't they be using the Bering Strait as their back door to get to America? When they lost control of Tartaria and America. Just saying, when they got overthrown or they got taken over, some of these buildings that they said they found it, they didn't found it. They found them, They found them, bro. I'm just saying, like, they figured out we overthrew them. Look at their back door. Go check. They got this, they got that. They built this, bro. They built that. Man, we're going to use this. We're going to use that. We don't know. I'm just saying, just asking. What if that's what happened?
I know I've been talking about my dreams and experiences a lot, but here's the thing that is blowing my mind. I'm having redreams. Dreams I've already had previously. I'm stepping back into them. Y'all, this shit ain't no damn. These are not dreams. And I've said this before. I visited my other lives, other realities that are happening right now. I swap bodies with another version of me in a universe where Aaliyah was alive. It might be pinned to my page still. But if not, just literally search up like Aaliyah alternate reality or something. Y'all, so years ago, I had a dream that I was in the W Mart. I don't know if I could say the whole name. This is just a dream. This is for entertainment purposes. I revisited that dream last night, and the same thing happened, but it went further. I'm just going to tell you how it happened last night. I'm not even going to restart it. So me and my husband and our kids were in Walmart shopping. In the W Mart shopping. And I was going to the freezer section and I had to get something out of, not the freezer, the fridge, and I had to get something out. And as you know how when you go to the fridge section, there are doors there? Well, there wasn't a door there. It was like a wall. But when I went to, my husband was ahead of me, so when I went to open the fridge door, I saw the wall kind of, you know how the hidden doors are, it kind of rotates. It rotated and somebody grabbed me. I couldn't even scream. They grabbed me, took me in, and I'm behind the door. As they're taking me, they're dragging me, my mouth is covered, and they dragged me inside. This was traumatizing. I'm kind of smiling, y'all, but because it happened almost exactly the same as the first time. And I'm in my dream, I'm like, why is this happening again? I'm remembering like this happened, and I still let it happen to me. So they're dragging me, and we're behind all the fridges. Now, when you're shopping, all you see is the food as you're, that's lined up in the road, like the milk and all that stuff. And you could kind of see it in the back where they stock it, but it just looks like a stock room. But y'all, I could see my husband walking with my kids as they're dragging me along. So as they're dragging me along, my husband is on the side where the coolers are, walking along, and then he turns around and looks for me, and he goes back and he doesn't find me, and I'm trying to scream, but my mouth is covered. They drag me to the back of the store, and there are rooms. They throw me in one of the rooms, and the walls of the rooms are glass. So there's a bed in there, there's a TV in there, there's a mini fridge in there, there's a little area where you can use a bathroom. They throw me in there, and I pass out. I don't know what happened, if they injected me or if the adrenaline made me pass out, fear or whatever. But when I woke up, I was in all white underwear. So it's kind of like what on The Fifth Element, when Leeloo Dallas, that stuff she had on was like the white panties and it's like bandeau or something. I had something similar on. Assed out. I'm just in these drawers, and as I'm looking around, there are other rooms with other girls in it, and all of the walls are see-through, so we could see each other. And they're all walking up. They go up to the glass to see me. We can hear each other kinda. So I think it was like semi-soundproof. And we could kind of hear each other. And I could just hear saying like muffled, like, they got a new girl. Are you okay? You're never leaving. The room is laid like it's Walmart. So like it's cute comforters. It's like slippers. But all the clothes are like underwear. You can't put on actual clothes. There's covers on the bed, mini fridge, snacks, all this shit. But I was in the room, in the back of a freaking W-Mart. And as I'm sitting there, now mind you, the first time I had this dream, I don't remember the room being pretty. I remember the room being white. But as I'm in this room, I see them come and take different girls. And the other girls are screaming along with the girls that they come and take. And they come and take them and drag them down the hall. Y'all, the hall goes down so far. If I had to guess from what I could remember, there's about like 60 rooms full of girls. Yeah. I don't remember if they got me or not. I kind of feel like I was so afraid that I made myself wake up. But it was very traumatizing. And I'm trying to figure out why I'm going back to old dreams. This is like the first time that I've revisited a dream I've already had with more detail. This dream, when I originally had it, I think it was about 4 or 5 years ago. Why am I revisiting old dreams? Are y'all revisiting old dreams? Have y'all done that before? Let me know.
Go down this beach in Michigan, you might get hit with a $3,000 bill just to get back up. This is Sleeping Bear Dunes, a 450-foot sand cliff that drops straight into Lake Michigan. Going down is easy. You slide, you run, you reach the water fast. Coming back up is the real problem. The sand is so soft your feet sink every step. The slope feels almost straight up. There's no shade and the wind throws sand in your face. Most people last only a few minutes before they realize how tough it is. Even athletes need 45 minutes to 2 hours to reach the top again. Plenty of people run out of strength. Some feel lightheaded and some just can't keep moving. Rescue calls became so common the park made a rule. If rangers have to pull you out, you pay the full cost, up to $3,000. And here's what surprises most people. There's no helicopter, a rescue team climbs down, puts you in a stretcher, and drags you up all 450 feet of sand. It takes time, and it's rough on anyone they're hauling. So tell me, knowing that trip back up might cost thousands, would you still run down this dune?
Back in 2011, the Japanese Coast Guard captured the moment that they went over a giant tsunami. These trees were completely swallowed up by a huge sinkhole. This is the Cave of Death in Costa Rica. The carbon dioxide levels are so high that they immediately extinguish any flame that comes inside.
No.
The wind blowing in the sand looks like something from a movie. These tourists at Yellowstone National Park witnessed a huge hypothermal explosion.
Run, 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 run!
These people in Norway captured the most incredible aurora borealis.
Wow. Wow. Ich muss ja fast zugeben, dass so stark, glaube ich, habe ich die fast noch nie gesehen.
This guy found a really low rainbow.
我居然看到了彩虹山。看这边是什么？
This giant rain bomb dropped millions of liters of water over Nevada within just a few seconds.
That very first clip though, that's playing live a little too close.
Tuve ganas de regresar. Pero pensar que tal vez soy el primer hombre en llegar aquí.
Do you remember this video? But I bet no one ever told you the truth. I spent 3 months digging for answers, and I'm about to show you the most disturbing update yet. We all grew up with the heroic story of Flight 571, the Andes Mountains, 45 people trapped in a frozen hell for 72 days. We were told they were isolated, starving, and forced to do the unthinkable just to see another sunrise. We were told no one could find them. But I need you to look at the top left corner of this footage. Right there. Do you see it? That isn't a shadow. That is a heavy-duty transport truck. This clip was supposedly filmed during their desperate trek across the peaks. But here's the problem. Trucks don't drive at 12,000 feet on a vertical glacier. That movement implies a maintained road, a supply route. So ask yourself, why were the survivors walking for 10 days towards nothing? Maybe they weren't climbing a mountain. They were walking towards the fence of a containment zone. The government wasn't searching for them because they already knew exactly where they were. Imagine starving for 2 months, thinking you've been abandoned by God, while a patrol unit watches you through binoculars, just taking notes. It wasn't a crash. It was a stress test. And if that truck is real, then the miracle of the Andes is the biggest lie in history. They didn't survive nature. They survived us.
Ain't that a movie, if I'm not mistaken?
See, this is why they always want people to stay away from the Appalachian Mountains, because there's always some supernatural, scary shit going on there. So a couple that lives in the Appalachian Mountains put out a video where they showed a tree basically disappear in thin air. Basically, in that video, they saying that that tree got up and walked away. Matter of fact, look at this shit. This shit is crazy right here.
Same angle.
Tell me what y'all think. Look at this shit. Now pay attention.
Nope.
No tree there.
No. That tree's sure not there.
All right, now look.
That tree's
Look.
interesting.
Look at the tree. Where is the tree?
It's sure not there.
Yeah, I know it's not there. A lot of people probably won't even understand what just happened. But jump in that search bar and you'll be able to go to their page and see they made numerous videos. That tree that was there, it's not there anymore. And to top it off, when they went in their house, it was a branch in their house. How did that get there? Jump down the rabbit hole of the claims of things that's going on in the Appalachian Mountains. A whole lot of scary sightings, a whole lot of things happening, a whole lot of people missing. And then tell me if you think that tree vanished by itself. Let me know.
I remember that clip. Is that real?
No, never use a Walmart light.
I know, college budget.
Using the Aurora, it's starting to get dark.
Woo! There it is, folks. Big plug on it. Oh my God! Oh, a huge log! Oh my God!
Awesome.
Unbelievable riverbank collapse in West Bengal, India. Watch as the powerful river devours massive chunks of land in seconds. Take a look at this terrifying moment. A powerful tornado rips through this parking lot in St. Louis, Missouri, USA. Cars shake violently and debris fills the air.
Ох ты, ёпта, нихуя себе. Вот так, вот и все, и ты на той стороне. И ты на той стороне. Мужик, эй! Трещина пошла!
June 2nd, 2025, Europe's largest and most active volcano, Mount Etna, suddenly erupts on the east coast of Sicily. Towering ash clouds fill the sky as panicked tourists scramble for safety. A dramatic display of nature's raw and unpredictable power.
ये देखो भाई नया तजुर्बा जमीन का अपना नया तजुर्बा मेरा भाई देखो भाई जो पीछे ले करी तो भाई ना भाई नमो जुबा यू क्या विकी कदे जमीन की जगह जा रे
A strange phenomenon captured on camera in Karnal, Haryana, India, as a section of land suddenly rises from beneath the water. This unexplained event left everyone stunned. I think this could be caused by trapped gases and water pressure beneath the soil, forcing the land to rise unexpectedly. A rare and shocking scene from nature. This mother centipede sacrifices herself, becoming the first meal for her newborn babies, a survival behavior known as metrophagy.
A woman walks behind you, and it looks like she fully disappears. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Watch this video. This is real. Take a look at this.
And what was the highlight of the evening for you tonight?
Philip Seymour Hoffman winning for Best Actor for a Drama. Very. Oh my God, that is my mom. That is my mom.
Wait, what?
That's my mom.
Wait, let's watch it again. That's your mom, but what?
That woman with the dark hair
Yes.
is my mother.
That's your
my
mom?
Yes.
Philip Seymour Hoffman winning for Best Actor for a Drama. Very
And wait,
I've been looking for her for like the last 15 years.
you are the best. That is so funny.
That is very
That's your
strange.
mom?
That is fully my mom.
Oh, hi, Mom. That's so cute.
That is
Oh my God,
weird.
that's
Where did she go?
Man, I needed him to cut the jokes, and I need to know what really happened with that clip.
Девочки на кухне, пацаны на улице, полетели плюхи, ты любишь слушать.
I never think of it like that.
That's a power line.
Hey y'all, my uncle. Take a look at this incredible video. This unidentified person is walking down the road and is struck by lightning not once, but twice and survives. Honestly, one strike from lightning can normally is fatal. This person survives twice. If that's not supernatural or paranormal in itself, then I don't know what to tell you guys. Watch this video. I'm shocked. Tell me what you think. Like, post, comment, post. Let me know. What are the odds? Seriously.
Did y'all see how his feet hit the ground? Like, the first one, how he hit the ground, was like, oh, bro, he playing. That ain't real. And then it happened the second time. What the hell did he do to deserve that, bro? I'm curious. I don't want to find out, but I'm curious what he did, though. I would like for him to tell he did this in order to deserve that. Because, bro, twice, though, shit crazy.
See if Jesus can strike a lightning right in the middle of that field, because it's already struck and they say lightning never strikes twice. So I'm going to see if Jesus Christ or God, or I know they're in three, but whoever controls that, can make lightning strike right there in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No way! No way I just got that on camera!
Michael Jackson has a TikTok page now. Since when? Why now? Didn't he pass away in 2009? Shh! Shut up! So why in 2026 are you making a Michael Jackson page? People are also saying that it could be him running that page, and I don't believe that at all. Because for a long time, they've been saying that Michael Jackson is still here. Is it a possibility? Because a lot of people that they said left, supposedly, is still here. So what is going on out here, guys? And why does Michael Jackson have a TikTok now? Go check it out, guys. And I also heard something else with FB saying that even when you leave this earth, they can still post videos of you like you're still here. Something is going on the internet, but I know nothing about, guys, because I'm in reality. I'm in real life right now. Go check it out, guys. Michael Jackson has a TikTok now, and it's all good because Michael Jackson is the greatest, and this video is for entertainment purposes only. That's what I'm saying. Michael Jackson has a page now, and I just wonder why did they wait till 2026 to make a page for him? I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think, because I don't know what to think. I'm out.
Cleopatra's body is there. Monte Cuma, Napoli. There is a park. This is the top of the mount. Mount Cuma. C-U-M-A. The remainings of a temple, Apollo's temple, that later became a Christian church, and now it's just this. Here is Cleopatra's down there.
I didn't see it walking up, but I see it now. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. Okay. driving down to Lake Mead and I spot another hole in the mountain over here. I'm gonna go investigate and see what we got. Alright, here we go. There's it over there. Hopefully, it'll be something interesting. Oh, looks rather small. As I came around. Oh, holy shit, there's like a gate on it. Oh, that's man-made, looks like. Sure. There's a gate here. Holy cow. Let me see if I can jimmy this now. This gate is bolted in there. Yeah, it ain't moving. Where does this go? Woohoo! Jeffrey Epstein, where are you? Coming to get you. What are the odds that that tunnel is underneath this? Huh? What are the odds? There's one facing that way, and there's another head right here facing this way. And I mean, the tunnel with the gate on it is right under this. Okay, there's no other tunnels around here, guys. So why is there a tunnel under this? Wow, unbelievable, unreal. Are you kidding me? Look, you can almost see like the two ears or whatever right there. I can't believe this. I'm at a loss for words. In the back with the spikes, dragon, bam. I know, crazy, right? But if you think about it, I am at a very high altitude, and if there was a major flood, where would giant animals want to go? To avoid the flood, to the highest points. Go ahead, call me crazy. That looks like another one. Oh my God, oh maybe two. Holy cow. Right above where the tunnel is. Lo and behold, is that an elephant? I mean, what is going on? What is going on? The third petrified animal I've seen. Are you kidding me? Tell me I'm crazy. It's just a coincidence that there's a tunnel here, or a mouth, whatever you want to call it, and then it looks like there's dragons on top. Unreal.
In the Chinese zodiac, the only mythical figure is the highly esteemed dragon.
Really?
I don't exist, so...
Who's that? That's not Jim Carrey.
Oh yeah, that's Jim Carrey, bro.
So a family in South Dakota woke up to the craziest shit you could ever see after a snowstorm. They were about to walk out their house when they noticed human footprints on their step. But the footprints that they noticed wasn't normal. The footprints that they saw were pointed in two different directions. Mind you, these weren't two different footprints. This wasn't like two people was at their doorstep at the same time. This was one set of footprints, and they were pointed in opposite directions. That's not possible. Mind you, whoever was at that door didn't have on any shoes. And you can guess what they did next. Exactly what you're not supposed to do in any horror movie. She started following the footprint. This is some shit that I definitely wouldn't have did. I would not have followed those footprints. If I would have seen them shits, I would have went the whole opposite direction. But she followed them. And followed them all the way to the end. Mind you, while she's following him, she starts to see more footprints. Animal footprints, maybe a deer, maybe something else. But these footprints are starting to get wider, and they're still in the opposite direction. So now ask yourself, what type of person has feet going in opposite directions? I'm gonna let you answer that. Now, I'm not gonna say what I think this shit is, but I need you to look at them prints. Look at those prints. Those prints just fully changed form. Now they're back to being feet that's heading in the opposite direction. You tell me what you think. Something don't look right about this shit. Now, I went in her comments, and I seen some people say maybe it was a person with one leg. Maybe it was that. But now, it just snowed. Why is a person with one leg hopping through the snow? You don't see something funny about that? You don't see anything crazy about that. But maybe it's just me. Keep looking. She gets all the way to the end and then turns around and look. Look how far those footprints came. That means whoever or whatever it was walked a very far distance just to get to her place, just to leave. So you telling me they hopped on one leg? Yeah, okay. Okay.
This guy is saying that his dad was part of a mermaid hunt in the 1980s, and even though he said, admittedly, I'm not sure if my dad was telling me the truth, I don't know why he would lie about this. Like, he was a pretty straight shooter, a pretty straightforward man. And if you're new here, Spooky Scary Storytime is a series where I share listeners' allegedly true stories about the creepiest or most unbelievable things that's ever happened to someone that they've never shared. And I know other stories like this exist, right? Like, I know that other people have told stories or shared stories on this app and others about mermaid hunts. Maybe there's some truth to this, maybe not. I don't know. You make the decision. I'm just here to tell the stories. So this guy's name is Kevin. Kevin said that he was born in the 1980s. Before he was born, his dad was in the Navy, and his dad worked as an underwater welder, which apparently is a very dangerous job. Shortly after Kevin was born, his dad was discharged from the Navy with a medical discharge, something to do with neurological issues. He also said his dad had this constant ringing in his ears that was always bothering him and always giving him migraines for years and years, pretty much up until his passing. Also worthy of noting, Kevin said that growing up, his dad was deathly afraid of water, of bathtubs, of pools, of lakes, like would not swim. Apparently, after he was discharged from the Navy, he still had old contacts with like friends that he had made in the Navy. And so he was working these like contract jobs. Boats were usually involved. They paid well. And he remembers his parents arguing about it. Like, his mom did not like that he took these jobs, but his dad just was always like, okay, well, I have to get it done. Kevin was 16. He was apparently thinking a lot about what he was going to do in the future. Like, he was like, do I go to college? Should I join the service? And part of him wanted to join the service, join the Navy, like his dad. Grandpa had also been in the Navy, so it was like a family thing. There had been a lot of talk around the house about what he was going to do after high school. And his dad was insistent that he did not go into the service, but his mom was like, oh, if he wants to, he should. And his dad would slam his hand down and be like, he's not going into the service. One night in the summer, they're sitting outside. It's Kevin and his dad on the back porch, and Kevin was listening to music. He said he doesn't remember exactly what he was listening to, but it was something with like layered harmonies. His dad was sitting there drinking something, and he just put his drink down and he said, can you please turn that off? He said he didn't sound mad. He was just like tired. Kevin turned it off. They're just sitting there in silence, and then his dad is like, I should have told you this a long time ago, but I want to warn you about something in case one day I'm not around to tell you before you have to make the decision about what you're going to do with your future. And Kevin said that was just how he started this story. And he said that one day after he was discharged from the Navy, one of his buddies called him up and was like, hey, I have this contract job, pretty short term, it's cash payment, there's an NDA for safety reasons. And his dad was told that basically he was just going to be part of rigging and underwater support. His dad apparently assumed that it was going to be some kind of illegal fishing vessel because apparently he had worked on one or two of these before. Maybe something with environmental enforcement, but he didn't ask too many questions because that's how these jobs worked. And he knew the buddy who called him and asked him to work on the job, like they had worked together before. So he says, yeah, I'll take the job. I need the money. And his friend's like, cool, we need to leave the dock at dusk. His dad tells him that basically that alone should have made him uneasy. And he knew that certain fishing vessels went out at dusk. It was the boat that should have unsettled him because the boat didn't look like normal fishing vessels. That's were apparently very fine and threaded with metal filaments. The winches were military grade. Hold on. To look up what that meant, but it's basically the mechanical device that like pulls up anchors or pulls up tension lines. The floodlights on the boat were designed to shine straight into the water instead of across the surface like on normal boats. Kevin's dad gets there. He notices very quickly that the crew is very stern, like nobody's cracking jokes, nobody's talking to each other, and he didn't recognize anybody except for his buddy. He notices as they're getting onto the boat that one guy makes the sign of the cross. Another thing he thought was strange was one guy was like eating a can of tuna, and he asked another guy if he wants some, and that guy says, I don't need anything from the sea. Before they take off, somebody hands out headphones, and they're like medical grade, like noise canceling, super tight against the skull, and Kevin's dad asks why, and somebody just says protocol. Once they were far enough out, the sonar picked up some shapes that were moving coordinated, like around the boat. He said they knew they weren't whales or sharks in the way that they were moving and like the patterns that they were swimming. Kevin's dad was just like waiting for instruction, but he noticed that the crew was calling them contacts, not animals. He heard people rushing around talking about vocal events and containment failures. He said that that's when his dad realized that this was not a fishing operation. The nets were deployed vertically, which meant they were trying to catch something swimming upward. He said they baited the water with something organic that came in these big glass jars. It wasn't fish. He thought maybe mammals of some kind, like land mammals, but he said he really didn't want to know. And that's when somebody taps him and tells him to put his headphones on, and they say basically don't take them off no matter what you think you hear. Kevin's dad goes to put on his headphones, but as he's like placing them over his ears, he can hear like a woman talking, and he's looking around the boat like, is there a woman on here? And he said it was like different women's voices. Like it sounded like one woman was begging for her son. One sounded like his own son calling for his dad. So he like looks, he's like, is there a kid on this boat? And the voices got clear, and he realized they weren't coming from the boat. They were coming from somewhere out in the water. And then he heard his own name. Then he tells Kevin that basically as soon as he snaps the headphones on his ears, he could still hear some sounds, but it was like at least muffled. Something hit the net, and it was hard enough to rock the boat. And a couple of the guys on the boat dropped to their knees and started vomiting. One of the other crew members started taking his headphones off, and two of the other guys jumped on top of him and started restraining him. And he tells Kevin that they hauled something onto the boat, and when he first saw it, his brain like just totally rejected it because it looked like a human. It's like a woman soaking wet, but the proportions were weird. Mouth open wider than a human's could. There were too many teeth, and the eyes were glossed over like fish eyes. He said he was just dumbfounded staring at it, and he noticed like light wasn't reflecting on the eyes. It was reflecting off them. Like it wasn't focused on anything. It was like an animal's eyes. His buddy, the one that got him the job, walks over to him and motions for him to take off the headphones. He basically tells him that they're not as powerful when they're out of water. Kevin's dad is just like, what is that? And he said, look, this isn't what it looks like. This isn't hunting for sport. This is thinning them. Like this is population control. Kevin's dad is like, well, what is it? And his friend's like, you know what it is. And Kevin's dad is just like, these aren't real. These don't exist. And he says, yeah, well, everybody knows that if you tell people that they exist, they're going to go looking for them. That's when Kevin's dad said that this thing looked at him and asked about Kevin. And he said, is he at home? Is he sleeping? Asked him if Kevin still wakes up crying at night. And that's when his friend, said he did it with something that looked like a cattle prodder that he told him later ruptured its insides with vibration. Once it was done, they headed back to shore and everybody was silent, but Kevin's dad could not get his mind around what he just saw. So he's asking his friend, he's like, well, why just one? And he said, that's all we can handle. That's all we can do in one night. And Kevin's dad was like, but why? And his friend basically tells him that they disrupt underwater cables, they interfere with submarine sonar. A lot of sailors had gone missing near certain vocal hotspots, but that the reports kept getting buried. Also tells him that it's dangerous because they know how to imitate people. Apparently he was paid handsomely and he went home, but he never returned back out to sea. And that was apparently the point that he started hating bathtubs, hating water. Apparently he never listened to music again. He developed chronic tinnitus, the ringing in your ears. He would wake up thrashing from nightmares, fighting something invisible. And that was the end of the story. And so Kevin's like, well, what was it? His dad apparently just told him, son, I already told you what it was. He said, I need you to listen to me and not go near the water. Kevin said his dad passed in 2018, and he's thought about this story a lot. He wishes he had asked more questions, and part of him isn't sure if his dad just told him this story so he wouldn't go into the Navy. He says his gut is telling him the truth, because if he didn't want me to go in the Navy, he would have just told me he didn't want me to go into the Navy. He was not the type to make up tall tales. He said he has found audio clips online of what sound like distorted voices in the water, which some people say are whale calls, but other people swear that you can hear voices and singing underneath them. His name was changed, but he'll be seeing the comments. Let him know if you have thoughts. I love stories like this. I love the weird ones. So if you have a story like this, please feel free to send it in. We would love to hear it.
I'm gonna say that dad had too many details in that to be fake. And again, he was slamming on tables saying he ain't going. Why would he make up a story? He's just telling you straight up, bro, you're not going. I don't know, but I heard, I think they out there. We've seen stories of they out there. We've seen stories that they out there. We didn't see proof of them being out there. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts. Y'all know we made it to the end of this, and if you haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell so you always notified whenever we drop them uploads. Y'all know we coming with about 4 videos every smooth 7, and this is for entertainment purposes as well. And when you like and comment and subscribe to the channel, helps Collective grow, helps Collective get bigger, helps more people who like this type of content. tap in with this content. But I appreciate you. I hope everybody doing good. So I'll see everybody in the next one. Y'all know what it is. We gone.
Ay, yeah, I just check my account. Sheesh, at the amount. You probably know what I'm